are you specifically loving that competition because of just the aggressive competitor that you always are?
Yeah, it's just me, man. I love to compete with anybody. My size, that's what always been in my heart. I'm always the smallest guy on the field. So, that's all with me is compete. So, I'm buying into everything, like I just want to have fun and, compete at the high level.
Can you talk about what your goals are to try and keep your footing in a receiver room that's growing and to keep getting more opportunities?
I just say, man, just be available. Trustworthy. When they call my number, be out there and just go and make a play. With the kickoff return and punt return, I'm gonna be me. Try to make a Pro Bowl again. That's the goal. But in our offense end, be trustworthy. Let them believe in me. Trust in me. And I can go out there and be the playmaker I can be.
Last year we saw you kind of take deep passes on quick slants, things like that. What are you seeing from Schottenheimer's scheme that will allow you to have a bigger offense?
He just pretty much like he want to get he doing shifts in motion. Want to get the ball in the playmaker's hand in space. He want the one-on-one. So I feel like that's good to me. That's good for me. One-on-one with a linebacker, safety. I'm gonna take advantage of them when he call my number.
What have your impressions of George Pickens been so far?
Oh no, that's my guy. We already know he been here about 5 months. About a month. So I just we locked in. Me and him got cool. I think it's just a South thing. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm from Louisiana. We clicked. Soon we talk. So like I said, that's my guy. And I feel like he doing good right now.
How are you feeling at minicamp right now? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for as a receiver in that role to make some big plays.
I just say, man, just be coachable. Be available. Like I said, Chuck Road, and just let my guys believe in me. That's what I'm here for. Like I said, I just signed the contract, so that's what I'm here for. And I'm just trying to be a playmaker. Just try to be that big playmaker I was for the last 2 years with the ball in my hands.
When Micah called you the other night, you know what was up?
No, I seen on TikTok a couple times, so I knew what was up. That's why it kind of caught me off guard because, I had people over, and I had them on speakerphone, so everybody was in the background laughing at me, so, it was kind of fun. But I knew what was going on, though. That's my guy.
What's it mean to have him back in the building?
It's good. I mean, Micah, he the leader. That's everybody look up on the defense end. It feel good. Just have him walking around here. Showing his impression.
You guys got perfect attendance this year. I know I didn't have perfect attendance in any class I've ever had. So what does that say about Shotty's culture that he's building, that you guys, everyone showed up?
I just say everybody buying in. Everybody buying in. Everybody loving what Schottenheimer doing, And then I just feel like, man, we're gonna roll with it. Everybody gonna take the punches and deal with it, And I feel like, we doing good, what Shotty doing, it's great. Everybody excited, everybody want to be here.
Sir, forgive me if you've been asked about this, but you signed a 3-year deal this offseason. What's it feel like just to kind of get that bigger deal, get some extensions, get the security going?
I just feel like, man, it's a blessing for me, what I've been through with my career. It just was a blessing, just know that I'm stationary right now. Now I'm just here, be a veteran until the young guys come in, and just be me, be a playmaker for the offense and be a playmaker in the special teams.
How much did you crave that? Because you mentioned your career obviously bouncing around a lot. Like, how much did you crave some security or a longer-term deal?
Yeah, ever since I got in trouble going out of TCU, man, that's been my goal, to make it to the NFL, and certify myself. And I feel like I did that, and the journey's still going, I'm still continuing doing what I got to do. I'm trying to get another one, you feel me? So that's what I'm doing right now, just trying to be that playmaker and that everybody say know that I am.
What was your reaction when you got the deal?
I was happy as hell. I ain't gonna count. I was excited. So they were me, but like with the smile I got on right now, But really, what happened was my family. They've been through a lot. With my journey, that was helping a lot for me.
What's the transition been like from John Fossil to Nick, and what have your impressions been of the new coach?
I just say, man, with Nick, he getting everything, he going through everything. Bones just, he was a different guy, man. So I cannot put Bones and Nick in that kind of category. So, but I can say, what Nick was doing right now, man, everybody loving what Nick doing, and I just feel like everybody buying in that special team room. That's what we got to do. Just got to buy in. Bones just had a special like bond with all the guys, so it's hard to put him in that, but Nick, he doing it, he trying to do it, but everybody just trying to buy in right now.
You think you're gonna get many opportunities this year to return?
I hope it with the rule change, they got to kick it in the landing spot now, so there ain't gonna be too many touchbacks. But hopefully they don't touchback me, so I'm trying to get as many touches as I can, But I feel a lot of guys are gonna be scared with the new rule change, so I'm gonna just roll with the punches.